family, and one community. Stand against and resist the powers of dehumanization, but do so while humanizing each other. You cannot save the world by hating your neighbor. We cannot have a just or liberated world while dehumanizing our neighbor, whoever they may be. Many times we have already come and gone when politicians have convinced us that war, violence, and devastation against those people on the far side of the world is absolutely necessary for our survival. Increasingly, politicians and leaders in our own country are talking about the likelihood and even the necessity of another civil war. A time may soon come when they tell us that war, violence, and devastation against our neighbors and fellow citizens is absolutely necessary for our survival. The only way this will not come to pass is if we turn toward each other now. If we choose to confront and dispel the methods and messages of dehumanizations, if we choose to see each other in our humanity, if we choose to listen to each other and sit with each other in our fears and our anxiety. Ask Kate, who's just up here before me. I'm a chronic ruin spread. We are so practiced at turning away from each other with disdain and contempt and resentment. But my friends, it will not be safe until we make it safe. There will not be love until we practice love. There will not be peace until we practice peace. We will not be united in our common humanity until we humanize each other. So turn toward each other. As dangerous and uncomfortable as it may be, turn toward each other. Amen.
All right, y'all, better one or better two? Okay, good. All right, I want to take just 1 minute. I'm chronically off script, so I'm going to do that. I want to say thank you again to Monica, who did this amazing. This is a woman and living with disabled son, and she said this had to be done, and she freaking did it.
I am terrified of this. I've never done anything like this in my life before. I am not getting deported. I love Lansing. This is my town. I've got my doctors here. I've got my friends here. I've got a house here. I'm not going anywhere. I live paycheck to paycheck with huge sacrifices, and it's been a hard life I've had. I've experienced a lot of racism in many ways and things, but I'm staying put. I'm gonna fight this. And my kid is going to continue living here free. My kid's transgender, and he's about the best human being I've met in my entire life. Best values, commitment, love, just pure love. And he's home right now because he's disabled, but thank you for showing up.
Monica made all this happen, but it doesn't ever happen alone. I want to thank Dawn, her friend who's here managing the speakers and being the photographer, and Cheryl Lynn, who helped her with this. And I especially want us to give a big shout out to the frozen fudgy over here, who has volunteered her time and services to make sure you can hear us all. Lansing is my home. I've been here for 40 years. And I'm a lesbian, in case you haven't figured that out. And this election was a gut punch for all of us. I love the state. I know it. It was horrifying. I know we sit here and wonder, how can our family members, how can our neighbors vote for this criminal, for this sexist, misogynist, all the ists and all the phobias and all the isms all in one guy? It makes zero sense, right? And guess what? We make no sense to them either. And so just like the pastor said, and just like Kate said, if you want to level up and get to the next level of where do we go, we need to talk to the Trumpers. We need to actually want to understand, and we have to approach them with respect, as hard as that's going to be. We have to do that. They're our family. Aren't you sick of not being able to talk to your own family without getting into an argument?
Yeah.
I want to tell you that I sat with my two very Trump uncles, and they thought, for some bizarre reason, that watching the Joe Biden State of the Union address with me would be a great idea. And afterwards, my one uncle sat there and asked me questions. And he didn't argue with me. He didn't question my opinions about things. He just asked me questions. And do you know our entire conversation stayed at that calm level?
Right.
And I want to tell you, so what Kate said, let me tell you something. In the 90s, I was a co-chair of a civil rights ordinance we tried to get passed in the city of Lansing. We first raised it in 1982, a lesbian gay civil rights ordinance. We couldn't even get the time of day from anybody back then. By the mid-90s, we spent years, and we created a comprehensive civil rights ordinance, one of the first in the nation, by the way, that had gender orientation in it. And we got the mayor to issue an executive order saying that the city of Lansing would not discriminate in housing, public accommodations, and employment against LGBT people, and all the other possible ways that you shouldn't actually decide whether to rent to somebody, or whether to give them a service in a restaurant, or whether to give them a job, right?
Yeah.
And then the city council, we got them to pass it. And we were so excited. And then this anti-gay group went around and collected petitions and put it on the ballot. And in 1996, we worked our butts off, and we got it to lose by 2%.
Wow.
Now remember, we were only a couple years away from the best the president could do, is don't ask, don't tell. So in 1996, that wasn't horrible. It was, sure, disappointing, but we did pretty good. We moved a lot of people. And by the way, the local news station reported that we had won the vote by 67% based on their exit polling. So the people who were leaving their polls knew better than to say they voted against civil rights for everything. Now, in 2006, the council raised that same ordinance, and it passed without a peep. And it is the law in Lansing now. And I want to tell you what that taught me. A couple of things. I learned to speak to people who disagreed with me fundamentally on whether I deserve civil rights or not, but to be respectful with each other. And I also learned you have to play the long game. That was 25 years, y'all. And we finally got there. And that's what the right wing has been doing all this time. And by the way, who saw the meme about the black ants and the red ants? Y'all know what I'm talking about? So if you put a bunch of black ants and red ants in a jar, they will peacefully coexist. They will, excuse me neighbor, walk over each other, help feed each other, all the things. If you shake the jar, they will think that it's the other ants that are attacking, and they'll kill each other. All of them, kill them dead. Guess who's shaking the jar?
Right?
Exactly. It's not ever been about right and left. It's always been about top and bottom. It's always been about top and bottom. And I know, probably like me, y'all really want to hear all the folks on the other side admit they've been duped, and that they've been fooled, and they've been manipulated. But guess what? So have we. We're the ones arguing with them. We are not working across that aisle and across that divide. And we got to do that. Now I'm going to tell you, I know it's freezing and there's more people to speak. I think a lot of people are going to say some things about how horrible it's going to be for the next 4 years. I believe it, maybe longer. What I want to tell you is we got a group. November was definitely a gut punch. And as soon as that happened, we realized we need to get together and organize again. We just got to get on this. And so we have a group called Crowded Table Coalition. We are doing the 4 things. What do we need to do? We need to protect people. We need to protect the transgender people. We need to protect immigrants.
Yeah.
And by the way, we've got Sanctuary City in East Lansing, we got Sanctuary City in Lansing, and we got Ingham County, who has said we are a safe harbor. We are living in one of the poorest counties in Michigan. And we still need to protect our immigrant population here. We need to protect people. We need to protect institutions, the Department of Education, the Department of Natural Resources, the EPA, the freaking planet, people.
Yeah.
We need to do direct action. We need to go ahead and get loud and get in good trouble. And if you have time tomorrow or Monday night, drive down Saginaw. There's going to be some fun going on. Over by Fairview. Go west on Fairview. You know what I'm talking about. 6 o'clock or so. Anyway, we also, even more than that, we need 6 p.m. Good God. Don't get up that early. We also need to envision and live the future we want to see.
Yes.
Yes. And my group is one of the many in this area that's doing this. We are LGBTQ people and allies. We are all of that. It is called Crowded Table Coalition because we are genuinely a crowded table and we're genuinely a coalition. And I've got cards with me. My partner May's here. We're going to go around and pass them out to anybody who wants to join us. Our radical idea is to meet in person. So weird. We want to build community. We want to have, I've been so grateful and blessed to be a lesbian because as a lesbian, I'm a woman and a lesbian, and having those 2 things in common with my sister lesbians means that I have had the opportunity to learn how to navigate the differences that we could have in race, religion, in class, in age, in ability, all the things. We have worked so hard as lesbians, as feminists, to learn how to navigate those and to learn how to unlearn the racism we are steeped in, the sexism we are steeped in, all of the isms that we don't even know we're helping to perpetuate because we've been so steeped in it. And I want to invite all of you to come to our table. We are a group that's doing stuff. And I will give you just one example of the things that we're up to and some of the stuff, the way that we're going to approach it. Those 4 things, I think we're doing 3 of them with one of them. If you haven't heard, there was a Trump mob on Michigan Avenue. I call them a mob. There were 3 guys armed with Trump 2024 signs on. They were videotaping people in the queer-friendly businesses on Michigan Avenue, right down there, and harassing people. And they have a monetized YouTube channel, and their whole purpose is to provoke people. And once they get them provoked, they get clickbait. So what did our community do? Well, first of all, we did a fundraiser and we got some one-way glass so they couldn't videotape in anymore. But even more fun, we figured out if they're there and we show up playing Disney tunes or Taylor Swift, they can't upload that to YouTube. That's a copyright violation. I'm going to tell you one more, too, if you're here in Lansing. And how many of you are outside of Lansing came in today for this? Yes, good for you. Good job. Thank you for driving in. Thank you for, where's that sign? We didn't even have to go inside from the cold, did we?
So here we are at the Women's March. What brings you here today?
I'm here because I believe in women's rights. A lot of people don't realize that a woman can only have one viable pregnancy a year, whereas a man could produce hundreds of children a year. He could literally impregnate a woman every day for 365 days a year. On top of that, women produce 300 to 500 eggs in their lifetime. A man will produce 500 billion sperm in his lifetime.
So we're regulating the wrong
Yeah.
people.
So don't tell me it's not about women's rights,
Yeah.
because we know it is.
Yeah. I really like your outfit. Did you put that together yourself?
Yes, I made it.
Oh, that is cool. Okay. Thanks. That's a cute dog
Step barking at everybody.
too. Thank you very much. Oh, did you want to say anything else?
No, I think that was pretty
That's
much what
it?
I wanted to say.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for coming.
It's all over. Okay? There was a law that you could not have. You could not have.
So here we are at the Women's March. Can you tell me why you're here today?
I'm here because I am a transgender person. I'm somebody that has women in my life. I have feminists in my life. I have lesbians in my life. I care about them. So, and I disagree with Donald Trump winning. I disagree with Donald Trump being president. So, yeah.
Really? Yeah, I understand that. Okay, what are you afraid is going to happen?
As a transgender person, like, fortunately, I live in Michigan, but I work with trans kids around the country. I've witnessed their rights be taken away. I've witnessed their families be completely silenced when it comes to their decision-making process. I've witnessed women not have the capacity to make a decision for themselves and have to be like held responsible for actions that like are based on unfortunate circumstances. Like if they need like an abortion because of tragedy,
Yeah.
sexual
Well, why
assault.
do they need to even have a reason that they tell people?
Yeah,
It's
they should.
nobody's business.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to say in here?
Never stop speaking out. If you can make it to these things, do that. But if you can't, then stay safe. Keep your people close. So, yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have a good day.
You too.
Try to get warm. I ran. That's what I did. Okay, great. Here we are at the Women's March, and what are you guys here today?
To support women's rights and trans rights and LGBTQ and Black Lives Matter, and that we should all be able to just get along and coexist.
Yes.
My business is mine and yours, and we're all human.
Yep. Plato called that morality.
Yes.
So that's our big reason to come out
Are you
today.
afraid? Are you afraid? Why are you here today and not like 4 years ago or 3 years ago, let's say?
I actually just only found out about this, a
Yeah.
couple days ago?
Yeah.
So we just kind of organized coming up,
Really?
like last minute.
Oh, you're not from this area?
We're from Kalamazoo.
Oh, okay. Well, that's quite a little ways away.
Plainwell.
Yeah. It's
My
a little ways
sister's
away.
from Kalamazoo.
Yeah. Okay. So, but are you more concerned now than you were before? Is kind of what I was trying to ask.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Worried about what the incoming group is going to do and how bad they're going to persecute people and take away their rights and
So, what do we need to do?
not lay down and let them do it.
Yeah.
We need to make our voice heard.
Yeah. Okay.
So come and stand out in the cold with our
Yeah.
songs and be a voice.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. Anything else either one of you
I
want to
like
say?
what she said about starting with face-to-face with family.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a hard conversation sometimes.
So hard to talk to people because I don't know about you guys, but I've got some family members that it's just very difficult for us to talk because I do get resentful, you know.
It's keeping that judgment and that anger out of it, and that's hard to do sometimes.
Yeah, and they're just reciting this silly crap that they've memorized. It's all like they're in a cult or something, huh?
Yeah. Well, we got to do it.
Yeah.
So have the hard conversations.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, thank you for being here. And we'll keep fighting.
Yes, we will. We'll keep fighting. There's a lot of people out here too for as cold as it is.
Then, we already know Facebook fell to him, and who else? So, you've got to stay in contact. So you've got to be the Trojan horse. You've got to contact your representatives, your senators, whether they're Republican or Democrat. Don't let them know who you are. let them know, and get on their news list. Oh, if they're new, congratulate them. And tell them, I want to get on your news list. And now you will get information on all the laws and whatnot are going on. And now, you will be...
That's all right.
You've got to stay informed. And then, now, share that information. That's why we have Friends for Facts First. We started making our own brochures and handing them out. And people were saying, I didn't know this. Okay, get to know what's going on. And then, like for example, were you better off 4 years ago? Oh no, everybody, oh my God, oh, the price of eggs. Yeah, take a look what's going on with the price of eggs now. But that's because we're bird flu, folks. But what people don't remember, it's like they say, a woman who's had a child forgets the pain and everything. Ain't that true? Okay? But 4 years ago, at the time that Trump left office, over 400,000 people had died from COVID. According to major medical sources and university studies, they showed that 1/3 of them were unnecessary. Go on the internet, if it's still there, and look up how did Trump handle COVID. He eliminated the Obama administration had put together a complete plan because the 100-year past was due. The 100-year, I can't even think about it now, but it was due. From the Spanish flu to now, it was 100 years. And Trump threw it out. He totally threw it out. And that's why we were unprepared. Over 100, if you know somebody who died, was it necessary? So,
because it's cold. So what Red, Wine, and Blue does is we are a group of women who educate and empower other women one conversation at a time to make a change in our world. Because we know that we are the change. You are all the people who have the power with your friends and family, and we at Red, Wine, and Blue give you everything that you need to learn how to do that.
That's right. Does anyone need a calming voice with the upcoming weekend and the event that's happening Monday? Anyone looking for a calming voice? Yeah. Does anyone know who Heather Cox Richardson is? Tune in to redwine.blue and join us Sunday night online to sit with Heather and she'll community this year. Because when they go low, we go local. Look for progressive candidates. Look for progressive candidates. If you don't find one, run yourself. Redwine.blue. Read it after me. Redwine.blue. One more time.
Redwine.blue.
Thank you.